Okay, so today's question is Intersect of Solids 2018, ordinary level. I started here first by highlighting the keywords. Now I did see there's a small problem. So it says, draw the given plan and the completed elevation. Now, typically when it says completed elevation, you would expect that the elevation has been fully done. But I think it's meant to act the wrong around. I think it should say draw the completed plan, because I don't think that to be done here. And the incomplete elevation, or just elevation. And it says to draw an end view. Now, when I set this up, I wasn't sure. Just put this picture here. I'm hoping it will fit. If not, we may have to draw it on a other sheet to the side. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So the first thing we need to know is we know our height is 100. So we'll come down maybe about 110, and we'll draw our ground line. So our ground line is a heavy line, so we'll go across like so. Okay, and we don't really know where to start, but we do know that we're going to come in 30. Now I'm going to leave this part here as part of the end view, and we'll see how it goes. So again, as I said, because it's quite tight and we're in the hope that it will fit, I'm going to keep that fairly close. So I come in maybe 5 mil there, and then I'm going to come across 30, and I'm going to draw that bit there. Now we have a problem here in that we don't know these widths. Okay, so we have to construct this. So the reason I came in 30 was just to get this point here. Okay, so my pink lines again are light constructions on my page, and I'm going to come down like this. And we know that we have to come out 70. And if we are 45 degree here and we're not told the other side, we can assume that that's a right angle. But if we want to double check, we can put our sets square in here, and yeah, it looks like it lines up at that angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to measure for 70. Now again, because we want to try the space for the end view, and because I'm not sure if this is going to work, we're going to keep this here as close to possible. We're not going to leave much of a gap here between them. So apologies there, it's zooming in and out. The autofocus is sort of acting up a small bit. So I can see I have 70 there, and I'm going to draw that. So, okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come down this way, and we'll go 100, and we'll go 100. Okay, so I'm going to check this off. So a little bit further here, and we're going to stand to it. Okay, so we're happy with our plan. So, and we look that there's no edges stopped there, so we'll heavy that in. Again, making it a bit easier for you to see. So there's the plan view of my cuboid that's sort of sitting upright. So what we do know is you need to keep an eye out for, you'll see here there's a heavier point here, and that gives us an idea of what lines up. So we do know that point there lines up with this. So what we'll do is, and again we know it sticks out 30, so we'll draw a little line here, and we'll measure out. We can see our 30 here. We'll measure out our 30. Okay, so we'll draw a line down like so. Okay, and then we have to sort of estimate, well, what's this? So this is the top view of this shape. So that means that obviously if that's the top, that's 20. That's the same as that. And from here to here would be, let's see if I mark it in a green, would be 50. Okay, that'd be from there to there. And that would be, the two tops would be from here to here. Okay, so I'll just highlight them a little bit there, just so that you probably see it on there. But I'm trying to mark them a little bit. So they're basically those. So this is easy enough because this is 20. So we'll measure down 20. And we'll draw that across, and that continues on until it gets to the side to the others. Okay, and the same with this. So my marker smudged a little bit there, but the general gist of it you can see. So we just need to do a little bit of maths here. So if this is 20 and this is 50, that means that there's 30 in the difference. And obviously if it has to be equal, then this must be 15 and this must be 15 in order for it to be equal on both sides and for it to be symmetrical. We're not told anything that would suggest that it's not symmetrical, and indeed this is a center line which would suggest that it is symmetrical. So what we'll do is we'll come down 15. I'll just mark it with the green marker just to keep it consistent so that you can see it. I'll just put those little marks there. And again, I'll bring them over. Okay. Okay, so at this stage, I'm happy enough that I can heavy this in. Okay. So the reason I heavied it in was because I looked at this plan view here and I didn't see any lines that didn't stop in positions that I wouldn't know. So for example, you can see here these stop at a position that I don't know. So what we'll do now is we bring these up and we start to construct our front view or front elevation. So we'll bring them up and we know we have a various heights. We have 100, we have 20 and we have 50. So what I'll do is I'll mark this here. So we have 100, we have 20 and we have 50. Okay, so I'm happy enough with that. So that's the end. And again, I'm going to draw them the full way across. Okay, so this is the cuboid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the cuboid first. So there's the outer edge. There's this edge. And there's this. Now, I'm just going to be a bit careful. Or again, I want to look at this again. You can see here, this is solid and this is a hidden detail line. And we expect that because this point here doesn't get intersected by this object going through it, and this doesn't look as if it's affected in any way either. So I'm going to mark those up. So I'll mark them as. But the main thing that I can see there is that they were completed in full. Okay. So as I said, there was a mistake right here. I'd imagine on the day of the exam they call that out at the start of the exam. This one here isn't fully done. But we do know, oh sorry, I've made a mistake there. That line there should be 50 up from here. Okay. So it should be there. So I've actually a mistake there. And draw that. So I actually came up 20 and then 30 when I should have come up 20 and then 50. So what I'll do is I'll take my Tipp-Ex and we'll give it a minute for it to dry. So that there is incorrect. Okay, obviously you can rub this out. And I suppose a good reason as to why you shouldn't be using pens straight off. You might decide to use them to highlight something at the end. But we'll try to heavy in some of the numbers. So basically, as I said, that was a mistake on my behalf. Okay. So anyways, so that's that. So what we're going to do then is we're going to look at this side. And I'm going to try not to get Tipp-Ex on my set square. But I can see that that's heavy there. Up as far as here. And it's heavy here. Okay. And then I can see it's solid across the top, and then it becomes solid here, and then there's a hidden line, like so, and then a solid line across the top. I'm happy with that. Ideally, what I should have actually drawn is I should have maybe drawn this in a green and this in a blue. But anyways, we'll keep it as it is for this lesson. Maybe in the next one I'll make sure to do that. So I'm going to draw them on. I don't know exactly where they finish, but I'm just going to roughly draw them on a little bit. So at least if this is all I got done on the day of the exam, I'm going to get a few extra marks from a continued one. So we have that, and we have that. Okay, now at this stage we need to do the end view. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to draw on top of this. Right, so it's going to be a little bit confusing, but we'll continue on. So I'm going to use maybe just a light green just to project it across, just so that you can see the difference. So first thing I'm going to do is bring up everything at 45 degrees. So maybe actually, I'll do it as soon as I've done this way, I'll continue it on. Some people will draw the 45 degrees the other way. In a lot of ways it's a bit easier to figure out. So all these anyways, in case this is the way you do it the same as I typically would, I'm going to come across to the common line and then go up at 45. The alternative way, as I said, we could have drawn a 45 degree line here and then brought it up. Okay, so as I suspected, I made a mistake in setting up this question, and that this graphic here probably should have been put down here in the corner. But anyways, this is what happens sometimes. So I have my various lines brought up. I'll bring them across like so. And again, I'm just using the green just to highlight it, just to stand it out a little bit different for the end view. But I'm going to work on the cuboid shape first. Okay, so we'll do this across our various heights. And it is critical that you do this, because even if you weren't sure how to do the question, you now have a good attempt at the end view, even if you're not sure which lines are correct. Okay, so again, these construction lines are definitely going to get you marks, so they are quite important. So I'm going to imagine myself standing here. So if I'm standing here, I'm going to see these corners here of the cuboid. This one here is going to be at the back, so it's going to be hidden detail. This one here, this one here, this one here is solid, and they're not affected by anything. This one here may be affected by something. So we'll start with that first. So this one here, as we said, is solid. So we'll start with that. Okay, then comes as far as here. Oh, I didn't bring up that one. Okay, so the importance of following the lines around. Okay, and we'll heavy that one in. This one here is the outside edge. We'll heavy that one in. And this one here is my hidden detail line. So I'm going to put it in as hidden detail. There may be a scoop or something. Actually, there's probably a hidden detail part. So I'll use a light red just to complete it. Particularly in here. I think this bit here, the red in the middle, is going to go. But we'll figure that out in a second. Okay? And we'll just seal it off at the top. So there's basically the cuboid shape. If I stand looking on this side, this is basically the outline of what I'll say. So now I want to get this shape here. Now this shape here, unfortunately, I've drawn across, is going to look like this. Okay, so these are my two outside my 50 bits. So that's that line there. So if I bring that one up, that's that one. And if I bring that up, that's that one. So if I measure that, that should be 50. Okay, so you can see that's 50. And this one here is the top. So there's my 2 points. So there's my top two there. Okay, so there's that. Again, I should have used my sets for that. And I'm going to draw this. So what I meant by my hidden detail there, why I did this in the light red, is that actually wouldn't exist. That would now be basically where that would have gone through it. So it wouldn't actually exist. So we would ignore that, but it would be seen at the top and at the bottom. And ideally actually should be small. So that's basically where the object goes through. So what we have to do is we have to figure out, well, where do these meet? Now there's a few ways you could do it. You could number these and start bringing them across. But we probably could have solved most of this without the end view. Some people will use the end view to solve it, and particularly when we move on to more complicated questions, it might be necessary. But what we could do is just basically start to figure out these. So we'll start here. This point is at the front, okay? And let's see, we were going to call it, we're giving this a green label, and we're giving this a pink label. So maybe if I get a color pencil and shade, I don't know if I have a green, but I know I have a pink. I had a pink, yeah. So we'll shade this just for the top. So that's basically the top surface. Okay. And that will be this edge here. Okay, or this edge here. So what I'm going to do is I'll bring these points here up. Now again, I'll just maybe use a light blue just to stand out these projections, or just sort of a teal color. Again, best practice would be that I bring these up, because I may accidentally find the points even if I don't know that I have. Okay, now my T-score was a little bit off there. That's why that line got a bit skewed. Okay, so this one here is a little bit crooked. Okay, but anyways, the main points of it is there. Okay, and we'll do the same on the other side. Okay. So my T-score wasn't in straight there, but the main parts will be seeable. So this here is at the front and it's on the bottom. So if I bring that up, that's this point. This one here is at the top. So if I bring that up, that's this point. This is on the top, that's this point. And if I bring this up, this is this point. So basically this will cut, I'm going to skew a little bit, across like so. This will have gone down the back, so this will be hidden detail. But understand the hidden detail is not really that important, because it doesn't make too much of a difference. Okay, if you didn't get this, you'd only lose maybe a mark. Okay, so it's not, you get a hidden detail, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. So basically that's what it would look like intersected into the piece. Okay, this one here the same. This one here is down on the bottom, so that's that point. This one here is up on the top, and then it goes across to this. So that will go across like so. And then it will go across as far as here. So if I label these, this is point 1, this is point 2, this is point 3, this is point 4. It might make it a little bit easier to see. So point 1 is here, point 2 is here, point 3 is here, point 4 is here. No, sorry, point 4 is here. Okay, because that's down at the bottom. So basically it goes from 1 to 2 to 3, and then back down to 4. And again, because it's at the back, this will be hidden detail. But as I said, if you didn't fully understand that, you're not going to lose a massive amount of maths. And there is my solution completed. So this line here, as we said, wouldn't be a solid line. I don't know, I must have went across it with the blue. But really, I should have had like a pink line like so. So what we'll do is we'll just put a little bit of Tipp-Ex on that as well. And that's the question completed. Okay.